Paul Wesley, aka Prince Truth Chaser. And it all boils down to one thing: fear and love, fact or fiction. Is that the reality? Is love the highest vibration? Well, today I'm out here and I'm going to find out. I'm going to ask people what their opinion is on love and light, what their opinion is on fear, what their opinion is on the afterlife. Let me ask you a question, man. Do you think that love conquers hate?
Love does conquer hate because it is a passion that inspires, that's an embodying entity that we all communicate through all forms of love. And that is what conquers all, and that unification over the destruction of the other one.
Okay, so my question to you is, sir, is love the highest vibration in the universe?
Say that again, sir?
Is love the highest vibration or hate?
Love.
Is love the highest vibration or hate?
Love.
I have a question for you. Are you afraid of the afterlife, God forbid, or do you embrace the afterlife?
I embrace it.
Why do you embrace the afterlife?
Because I believe in Christ. I'm going to meet Christ.
So you're a spiritual man then?
I'm spiritual man. Yes,
what about you?
I believe that you're just at peace after.
All right, thanks a lot, guys.
What Jay State?
Man, I feel as though love don't exist nowadays. Right now,
right.
Ain't no love out here, man. Everything crazy right now. There's no morals, man. So
right.
I do believe in love.
Do you think love is the highest vibration in the universe, or do you believe that hate and negativity is the highest vibration?
Right now, me truthfully speaking, from my past situations, I believe that hate is taking over everything, because you wanna love people, but when you share the love, another person hates you and they want to pull you down into the hate that they believe in.
Do you think that can be changed through love vibration or not?
I hope so.
Okay.
I mean, it can be.
Love is love the highest vibration or hate?
Love.
Do you think there's an afterlife, Armageddon?
From like conventional and practical standpoints, yes, just because of what's proven conscientiously between us as people to what we experience through experiences, like with it on all levels. So like I do say yes, but I don't like attest to, you know, it being denominational or requirement based. Like just it in its essence is there.
Now why do you believe there's an afterlife?
What I think right now is a judgment to see where you're gonna go, to heaven or hell right now. This is a jury trial right here. The things you're doing here on earth right now determines whether you go to hell or heaven.
So you kind of think this is like a school for the soul. Now, depending on how you live your life is the school, and that's going to depend at the end of times where the hell we all go.
Exactly.
How do you feel about that?
I feel basically the same way, man. Basically it's like a test right now. And then we all wait for the afterlife, man.
Now, do you think people should fear the afterlife?
No.
Why is that?
Integral parts of our society, regardless of how economies are built or what government is running what, that, you know, allocates, you know, things attributed to war and, you know, what goes on in cities and all other forms of, like, you know, malicious acts and stuff that just are, like, you know, things that we learn from and we grow from.
Are you afraid of the afterlife, God forbid, or do you embrace the afterlife?
I embrace it.
Why do you embrace the afterlife?
Because I believe in Christ. I'm going to meet Christ.
So you're a spiritual man then?
I'm spiritual.
Do you think that the Illuminati is trying to pump out negative vibration to kind of keep everybody down in a negative state?
I do.
What do you think?
I do.
You think the Illuminati and the powers that be are trying to hold us down?
Exactly, I do. I think the Illuminati promotes violence, promotes people to go kill each other.
Right.
I do.
The government uses fear, the afterlife is fear and spreading fear into the citizens, man. Basically, if you don't do this, you're gonna, you know, burn in hell, all that type of junk.
They do it in a way that enforces religion subliminally through law, based off of what nonprofits and groups and organizations have power that are related, you know, to these, you know, groups and institutions. You know, they heavily influence these politicians and these lawmakers to keep, you know, equality almost aback.
Hey, people of the world, what's going on? This is Paul Wesley, aka Prince Truth Chaser, and this is another Moment of Truth. A lot of people have been asking me about death, about fear, about dreams, and
I want to answer these questions because, you know, one, you guys kick ass are great, and two, I haven't really done a video where it's just low key me talking in a relaxed state. So, let's start off with fear first. Well, matter of fact, before I even start off with any of this, what I want to do is I want to say that this is going to be, hopefully, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this with me talking to you guys and my actual street interactions with people on what I'm talking about, which is going to be kick-ass, because that's just how I do it. That's how I would want to say it. And I want to start off by saying, you know, love is key, resistance is necessary, yes, but 100% non-compliance and love is key. And that, you know, everyone wants to know about death, fear, and dreams. Let's start off with fear. And we all know that what the deal is with fear. So let's start off with this. Okay. The government, they're the biggest fear monitors there is. They're the biggest mind control freaks and, you know, people that use fear to basically assert their evil agenda, because that's what they do. And when we talk about fear and we think about fear, you can look at ancient times, and through ancient times, when people started religion. With religion, they would say, oh, well, you know, if you don't do this, you don't do that, where are you going to go? You're going to go to hell. Oh, you're going to burn in hell. You know, I don't knock religion. I don't knock people's religion. But at the same time, I kind of feel that, you know, you can do whatever you want. I don't knock it. But I just think it's a bunch of BS. I think it's a bunch of fear. Also, I kind of feel that what the whole fear thing is, you know, through fear you control the masses, you control society and humanity. And that's exactly what's been going on throughout history and throughout, you know, humanity's, you know, progress. Fear has been used to hold us back. Fear has been used to chain us and keep us down from progressing and ascending via love and light the way we should be. It's that simple. You know, and I think with the whole death thing, a lot of people say, well, where do you go when you die? You know, do you go to hell? Do you go to heaven? Do you see loved ones? Do loved ones see you? Do loved ones watch you? Stuff like that. And now what if, let's just say, there was no such thing as death? That mindset as when you die, that's it. What if there was no death? Then what you would have is, you know, people basically living with limitless possibility. You know, the sky's the limit. Shit, if we all knew that there was no such place called death, that you did not die and that was it when you so-called die, then the sky's the limit. And I believe that to be the case. Now, some people have had, you know, near-death experiences, and some say, okay, well, I've seen angels, or I've seen bright lights, or I've seen aliens, or I've seen whatever the hell you've seen. Or you have some people that say, well, you know, I had a near-death experience, and I see nothing. It was nothing. It was just black, nothing's there, you die. And who knows? Maybe that's what they see. Maybe people see what people see. And that's the thing. What I try to do is I don't try to impose what I believe on people, and I hate it when people do that. Because you believe one thing, fine. Now, my personal experiences, being in contact with interdimensional beings that I have been, and the experiences that I've had through dream state, dream reality, if you want to call it that, you know, I honestly believe that death just doesn't exist. I think it's exactly like waking up from a dream. Now, what I mean by that is, have you ever had a dream where you're dreaming and all of a sudden you fall and you're just like, whoa, and boom, you just like wake up. You just wake up from that dream. In this reality, that's where you waken. And I think basically that is what happens. That basically when you leave this reality, this consciousness, this body, that, you know, you go elsewhere. Maybe it's another reality, some say. You know, maybe some people may think and say, well, you know, your soul energy goes here, goes there. Some people think that it, you know, goes to another reality, dimensions. You know, There's a lot of children who say, you know, I've seen Pop Pop or Mom or Uncle Chris or cousin Liz or whatever, you know, and you wonder, like, wow, how the hell do they see these things? How do they know this, but I can't see it? And that's one little bit of proof that when you die, you carry on. I mean, then there's, you know, there's the fact of dreams. When we dream, we see these people. You know, I've had dreams where I've seen loved ones in dream state, and they made it blatantly straight, clear cut. Look, we're here. You're here to do what you have to do, just like the rest of the world. We can come and see you in your dreams, but we can't, you know, we're not going to babysit you. In other words, people think when people die, well, we just use that word, when people die, that, you know, your loved ones are always watching you. That's a crock of bullshit. Doesn't happen. Not from what I know. You know, see, they may pop in and out at times, but to actually say, well, they're there 100% of the time looking over you, that's kind of selfish to think. Wouldn't you say, when you want them not to spend 100% of their time watching your ass, it just doesn't add up. Doesn't happen. But, you know, there's no such thing as death. In my view, you know, what I think. You know, and to get back with the dream state is that, you know, I've had dreams where I'm flying, I've had dreams where I was happy, I've had dreams where I was scared, sad, and it was so real that you would act, it was just as real as this. I felt pain in that dream, I felt love in that dream, I felt every emotion that you feel in this reality, in this, you know, mind state, mind frame. But and at the same time, I kind of feel like a lot of people think that, wow, you know, that was just a dream. Well, how do you know that this isn't a dream? And when you leave this body, that you wake up again in another reality. You know, that's what I think happens. Now, whether you wake up in another reality and you decide, well, I want to come back and do this, or I want to do this chart or this, you know, who knows? But the main issue of death itself, you know, it's not the end. It's not the end, in my belief. Now, I think that the Illuminati and, you know, the powers that be know this. And what they try to do is they try to use fear. And this is where the fear comes in again. Because it's basically like, well, you know, you go to work, you know, play sports, do this, go to school, do this, live your life as a slave, do that, live in competition, be angry at this person, that. And guess what? If you don't do things the way we want, you're going to die. Yeah, and it's what it is. You know, and it's bullshit, and there is no such thing as death. I know I said that 100 times, but you guys want to hear me say it, so I'm going to throw it all out, what I think, to you, because with everything that's going on with the sky, the water, the food, the air, you know, everything being poisoned, martial law looks like it's going to kick into effect. Executive orders are being passed on people. It's fucked up. The Constitution's being pretty much raped and thrown out the window. People just don't seem to care because they're scared that they're going to get thrown in FEMA camps, and there's nothing that they can do about it. Now, what if you woke up and realized that death doesn't exist? That it's just like waking up from a dream. Could you imagine the resistance you would have if you took if you took the idea in your head that death no longer exists? Then you would have things change in a month, maybe sooner than that, because people just wouldn't give a shit. People would say, you know what, hey, look, there's no such thing as death. What are you going to do? Kill me? What are you going to do? Lock me up? No one would care. This is why we have to eliminate the fear aspect of this, because that is what I think is stopping us from achieving greatness, is fear. Now whether this fear be of death, which it is in most cases with people, or maybe it's fear in other cases, but you know, fear has to get thrown out the window. And as you'll see in my street interviews that I've done, I ask the question, I say, you know, are you afraid of the afterlife? answer was no. Not afraid of the afterlife. You know, there was the one guy that I talked to that said he was religious, and good for him. I mean, that's what I'm saying. You know, you can't knock someone for what they believe. But, you know, this is just my little short take on how I feel. Let go of fear, empower, self-empowerment's key, empower your mind, and, you know, think outside of the box. Say to yourself, okay, well, A, B, and C is what they want me to learn, but it doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? I want to try, you know, D, E, F, G, whatever. And use your own thoughts. Do your own homework. Do your own research. And when you do, when you put 1 and 2 together and you realize it doesn't fucking make 3, that your whole life you've been spoon-fed a bunch of bullshit that you are supposed to believe. You're supposed to live this way. You're supposed to believe this is normal. And when you realize that all your life, what you thought was reality, turns out it's a bunch of bullshit, you might not like what you see. Because then you're going to get that anger and something. You can't do that. And that's where love is key. Which is another thing I asked in my street interviews. Is love key? You know, and so one answer was, you know, a couple answers were yes, and one was like, well, you know, from my personal experience, no. You know, but then I asked a question also about that you'll see about, well, can love conquer? And love can conquer. You just have to let go of fear. You have to let go of the fact of, you know, you have to let go of the conditioning, and when you realize that love is key and there is no such thing as fear, then the doors are open. We all have the key. We all have the fucking key in our hands, but it's up to us if we want to be brave enough to step up to that door, put the key in the door, and turn it and walk through that door. And until that, nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to change. So this is another moment of truth. This PT, Paul Wesley, aka Prince True Chase, is another moment of truth.